doing interviews. You'll find her with celebrities and all the latest news. She's here, she's there, she's everywhere, she's always on the go. So sit back, relax, and get ready. This is the Corey Taylor Talks Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Corey Taylor Talks live from Las Vegas. Today, I am joined with the wrestling legend himself, Mr. Marty Jannetty. I'm so excited to have Marty back on. We go back for many years, so I'm glad to have you on again. So, how are you, Marty?
Good. It's been a while since what was that?
WrestleMania, the WrestleCon, yeah.
During WrestleMania week this year, yeah. And before that, it was when I was living there in Vegas. That's been about 7 years.
Yeah.
Man, didn't that go by fast?
I know. It's been a while, but I'm glad to see you back. And now you have your own podcast. And actually, our movie that we did together is out. So, I mean, there's a lot of exciting things happening for you.
Yeah, if I can just keep them on track, because I get sidetracked very easily. But
I understand. You're a very busy man.
Yeah. What's that?
I said you're a very busy man.
Well, sometimes, yeah. Like I was just explaining that on Facebook yesterday, I think, because if I miss 2 or 3 days in a row of answering email or messages, going to Facebook, when you get 100, 150, 200 a day, and you miss a few days, it's really hard to catch up. And one of the things I was doing was just when some of them are so silly to say hi. Well, what am I supposed to say back to that? At first was, hey, how are you doing? But that takes so long when you're trying to go fast.
Yeah.
Just hit that thumbs up. And I felt like that might be rude, if they just say hi, hey or hello, I'm not sure how to respond other than hi. But like I said, quicker to hit the thumb thing.
Right.
But yeah, and then I got some good ideas given to me that I can't mention on here. For the ones that were just goofballs, send them something they wouldn't like. But I'm not like that. What the hell's going on with my head?
I think that's fine. I think it's good. So I mean, but you have been very busy, and I know you got your podcast, Party with Marty. So why don't we talk a little bit about that? How did you start that?
I don't know, about a year and a half ago. I'd been wanting to start one for a while, but I didn't know exactly what all would need to be ready. But it was like sometimes you just got to jump in the water, stop tapping and feeling it. And so we jumped in and started a little over a year ago. And right now, we're finally getting into a good groove. It's been a little over a year, so I'm starting to understand how to work with everything and everybody. But it's pretty good. This is actually not live, but tonight, Thursday, we have a live show at 9 p.m. And that's what we're going to try to keep it every Thursday live at 9. I'm not sure we'll always go live, but for most time, because that's fun, you can interact with fans. You don't get fan questions that are sometimes, you better be careful. But yeah, man. Also, we have a merchandise site off of it where Our Lady, Miss Radical Addie, she actually makes these things to make it to whatever you want on it. A coffee cup, like a mouse, anything, t-shirts. Got a mouse of, I don't know who that blonde is there. Oh, Shawn Michaels. Little grabby baggies of gifts for kids, different kind of candies. Also, like I have in my ear here, earrings.
Those are cool.
Of every kind, a trading card. And like I say, she can make whatever you want. If you want something off the wall that's your saying or your picture or whatever you like, if she can do it. She can make it. Make the graphics up for it and do it. It's very good. And you can it should be on the Marty podcast, during it. But you can also go to MartyJannetty.com. And Marty Jannetty, Marty Marty, Jannetty, the tricky part, Jannetty. I got a lot of gray hair.
You look great, Marty.
Seeing it for the
I
first time,
remember
like I
taking
just woke
your
up.
bucket hats. I loved your bucket hats. You had a lot of really cool stuff there. I know, and a lot of people at the WrestleCon were like so excited to see you and get things signed and get stuff from you. It was a really cool event.
Yeah. Oh, WrestleCon?
Yeah, WrestleCon. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see so many people I hadn't seen in a while. The other boys. My head, man. And lots of friends that, I've met through wrestling at the shows and everything. It was a very, very, very fun time. We got to see y'all, but we didn't see you that long, though, huh?
Yeah, I know. It feels like a while, but I think it was only like 2 months ago now. So I know it's crazy.
No, I mean, how long we got to see you there?
Oh, it was probably like 2 hours, I would say. Yeah, because we were so busy. That weekend was just insane. But WrestleMania is coming back to Vegas this year. We found out recently.
Again? Oh, yeah, they're doing another double set or something.
Yeah, are you going to come back to Vegas?
I hope so.
Yeah. Then maybe we can have you actually like in studio in person next time.
Well, yeah, that's always fun. We did that, a couple of times when I lived there.
Yeah.
Which I wouldn't mind living there now. But again, even though the partying has tapered off, it's still right there. As soon as you open the front door, Vegas doesn't sleep. They say New York City is the city that never sleeps. Neither is Las Vegas.
Yeah, well, if you stay off the strip, you're in downtown, you should be good. But anytime, we'd love to have you back. Hopefully you come back soon with WrestleMania.
Yeah, I probably will, most likely.
Yeah.
But never know. You never know if I'll be walking by then. I have been through so much with my ankle lately. I just had another surgery on it 8 weeks ago. I think like right when we got back from WrestleMania.
Yeah, I know. I think you said you were getting it that Monday, right? Is everything good with that?
That Tuesday, yeah. It was right. It was Tuesday after we were out there, which was a quick pace, do the signing for 5 days out there, then come home and don't rest. You got to get ready to go to surgery.
Yeah.
But it's been 8 weeks and the ankle is healing, at least the scars, where they had to tear it open and go in and make the adjustments.
Yeah.
The scars starting to heal, but this was supposed to be the one that fixed everything. Because I've had like 5 now on the right one on the left one. And, to be the one to fix it all, I'm just 8 weeks out and it's still painful. It fixed the pain for sure. I was never going to get to walk and jump around in the ring again. But, at least I could walk pain free. That was the goal. And now that it's been 8 weeks, I mean, the other surgeries after about 6 weeks, I was getting along good. And we're getting there. This is 8 weeks and the pain, man. If I don't take my pain medicine, it's rough.
Yeah.
So I got to talk to my doctor about that. Say, hey, bro, what happened, man? This was supposed to fix it.
Well, are you able to actually walk now, or is that still a problem?
I can walk, do little baby steps, and not for long. About 5 or 10 or 15 steps, and then you can walk more. But what they did this time, they went into they stuck a cadaver bone, replacement bone, in a spot that they took something out. And my doctor told me that's just going to take a little longer because your own bone has to grow and attach to the cadaver bone. I might have Charles Manson bones in me. Who had this bone? Where did it come? What body did it come from?
I hope not, Marty. I think he's been gone for a while, so hopefully you don't have his. We'll see.
Yeah,
but
man.
no, hopefully, I mean, I know 8 weeks is a long time, but for such a major surgery, hopefully it will get even a lot better soon.
I actually believe it will. It's like he said that my own bone has, bone don't grow as fast as skin, tissue, flesh, muscle. Bone grows real slow. So I mean, I'm wanting to go work out, jogging wise, riding the Stairmaster and all that, but not yet, because he said this at this stage it's very tender, like it can come right apart again and mess it all up. So being more cautious, I hate it. I hate the dragging time, man.
Yeah, but you got it. It'll be all worth it in a while. But right now, it just sucks. But you just gotta
Yeah,
stick with it, you know.
it's like being in jail. Except in jail, like, well, I have Addie. Hey, Addie, can I get some water? I didn't mean to. I wasn't bossing. Um, yeah, they in jail you get to get out of your cell and mingle with the population, and you make friends or whatever. At least you got other people to mingle with. But here at the house, I mean, I'm in a wheelchair around the house. I get up for a few steps, like to the bathroom, and just not much walking. And I don't feel like taking crutches every time I go outside to go. Thank you. To go to the anywhere, to go outdoors. Even, I mean, I will lay out in the sun every so often, but that is 4 or 5 steps I got to take. But yeah, I mean, it's Addie wasn't here. I don't know what I would do. I'd be going crazy like in an insane asylum, because solitary confinement is rough. but we're getting there.
Yeah. Well, what's also good is now you can start working more on your show too, which I know you're very passionate about. So I mean, even though it's horrible right now and you're in so much pain, at least you can kind of look on the bright side with some things, and you can work on your show more. And we have you on. So I mean, it's getting there, and it will just continue to get better, and you'll heal, and everything will be great.
Yeah, everybody says the longer you're with it, the more it picks up.
Yeah.
And I've had some issues along the way. We started and was building up, and the first producer co-host was it was just we were thinking 2 different directions, so I had to stop for a while to get another producer. And he's great too. I've got him now, Eric Carroll. He's great. And but we had to start over. There was 2 issues. One, and by the way, y'all, come see me on Facebook. It's under Marty Jannetty. Right now, it's got the cartoon characters, because there's a bunch of Jannettys there. Okay. And it's you can see me in I don't even know what the default picture. But anyway, come there on Facebook, check me out, and chat with me or whatever. There, or the Party with Marty podcast. But yeah, I forgot what were we just talking about.
Well, about like your show and how you work.
It had to take a stop for probably at least 6 weeks, which, that's a no-no with a podcast. Missing 1 week is not good. 6 weeks, and then we changed co-host and producer, and it's like starting over again. We're now getting back to where it was when we had to stop. Okay. And Eric, I hope you're okay out there, brother. He just told me earlier today that he had some bad news from his doctors. And they're sending him for extra blood work to make sure of it. But he didn't want to say what it was, so now I'm a little worried, mainly for him. But then again, if I lose that, if he can't do it for whatever reason, to start over a third time, that's going to be hard. People already think I'm a goofball because of your show. You used to make me come on there and drink.
Oh, yeah. That what happened. When I was 18, sure, that's what happened.
No, but well, that's another thing. On Facebook, I had 50,000 followers, and that's where I would advertise what show, who's the next guest, and all that. Facebook, evidently you had me drink again, and I must have said something that they didn't like, because they put that thing up where your account's been usually they suspend it for 3-4 weeks, right, a month, and tell you why and show you what posts. With this one, they didn't tell me. They actually said the suspension was for 6 months. Oh, and then they didn't give me the reason why. So that's why I say I don't know if It's not
Maybe there
beyond
was
me.
too many reasons.
Huh?
Maybe there was too many reasons.
Yeah, maybe. They couldn't pick one, but I would like to know, which is what I wrote in and said, I'd like to know, so I don't do it again. I wasn't denying I did something wrong. I was just saying, can you let me know the reason? And they sent me a thing saying you can appeal this, but if your appeal fails, then excuse my language, we get rid of your account. And I wrote back and said, no, I'm not appealing. I just want to see what it was I did.
Right.
That was it. That was the end of them. The account was gone forever now. And yeah, that was a 50,000 people I could advertise to who could, share and tell other people. That was a big bump. And plus, I had so many of my personal pictures on there that people would send me to Facebook, gone forever, or they've got them. I don't know if I got to pay them or beg it back or what, but yeah, that was rough losing that.
Yeah. Well, hopefully you can stay on track with this Facebook and not get it banned, and it will continue to grow too. You have so many fans out there for you. It'll get big again.
But yeah, and I'm hoping, generally am paid for doing people's podcasts for an hour, 30 minutes. I get different rates for different times. But right now, man, I'm doing some of them, just taking them like to help promote mine, so I can get a few more people in. But well, I don't know, everything there is to do, I'll figure it out and do it. And we're gonna be all right.
Yeah. Well, and also we have our movie out too now, the Hen Night. At first, so it was like, God, it was probably like 8 years ago now. We did, it was for the 48-hour film festival, and we did a short. And then the director actually decided to put it in part of a full feature. So now the whole full feature is out on Amazon, and people can buy it or rent it or whatever they want. So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a cool thing too now you got.
Yeah, shit, when that comes out, I had the I don't know if you call it a link or whatever it was to watch the little part our part,
Yeah.
and I lost that. Probably another one of them drinking nights. But yeah, so send me a link to that or whatever you can when you get it, when you can, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you just so I mean, this is for anyone watching. If you go to Amazon Prime, you can just search Hen Night. That's the name of the full feature movie, and then it will
What
pop
was it called?
Hen Night. So it's HenNight. Hen Night.
Okay.
It's like a bachelorette party, but a hen night.
Yeah, I remember that was a fun night when we was
Yeah.
filming. But,
Yeah, it was fun, and you
what do
did
you?
great in it. You were acting amazing in it, so it's very cool.
It was easy. It was in a bar.
No, it wasn't.
No, it was like that was the party, bachelor party, whatever, bachelorette party,
But
whatever it was.
you played the straightforward security guard. You did great, Marty.
Oh yeah, I still got security. I don't think I got this there. This is when I worked at a club down in Florida. One summer that one of the many times, either I quit with WWF or they let me go. I don't know, but yeah, that's how it was. And it was fun. It was on the beach, had a tiki bar, and all the women in bikinis, and the women, the wine, the feeling fine. It was all going on all the time while you're getting paid. But yeah, that was some good times, and it was Vegas. I had to leave. I mean, I was up in Henderson, but when we'd opened the front door of the first place I stayed, it was up high and just right. You see Vegas Strip and everything, all the lights right there. That gets you the minute you open the door. It's like, oh, party. But man, the last podcast I did, I don't know if it's this light, the ring light thing. If I'm squinting or what. But I just saw it just then. My eyes squinting. I'm gonna turn the damn thing off. But yeah, the last one it looked like I was like high as hell, either weed or drunk and the truth was I was dead ass tired. I again don't want to miss any more weeks on the podcast.
Right.
So I Yeah, I was like, nah, I don't care how tired I am. If I fall asleep, and plus we had Rod Van Dam on there, RVD on there,
Yeah.
and Pat Tanaka was supposed to make it. He made it, but an hour and a half late, and we pushed. The time just kept going. Luckily, we was able to fill in the gaps of silence. Um, Waiting on him to get in, and finally the co-host said, "Oh, he's here. He's here. He's in the studio." But something went wrong there. We couldn't get him in, so we went even longer. Like, okay, he's here. We've gone this long. Let's get it. But nah, we didn't. Yeah, didn't get him. Yeah, I don't know what he said. I don't know. I was in, then I was gone, which is the same thing. My co-host said. He said, "Yeah, he was in there, and then he was just gone." So but anyway, yeah, the old guys were squinted more or about like this. And I don't know. I'm looking at it now and it looks like that. And I'm wide awake. It's the middle of the day and, I slept good last night. So I don't know if it's just old ring lights too close to me and I'm squinting or what.
Maybe it's just too bright. Yeah. But I think you look fine, Marty. But your show, I think it's really cool. You have a lot of your old wrestling friends and everything. I mean, you have some really great guests on there, and God only knows you have a lot of good stories to tell.
Yeah, that's one thing we never have to worry about is running out of stories because for every one I tell, there's 10 more I didn't, you know. And then 10 on top of that I've forgotten, and somebody will mention one thing that oh yeah, and then you gotta relive that story. But yeah, that's always good. Yeah, we had some good guests. We had the WWE referees on there.
Mm-hmm.
We had Buff Bagwell and I did it not too long ago. um I say not too long ago, it's been about 3 months.
That's
But
all.
yeah, I'm looking to see who else coming on. Jacques Rougeau, Boogeyman,
Yeah.
Tanaka's on. We're best friends, and we love cutting up with each other. Pranking on each other, cutting each other down playfully, and so he's always a favorite guest from the people. And but so he's been on like 3 or 4 times. That's I guess that's a trick there in itself is keeping new guests in and bringing guests all the time as much as possible. That's really we want to get to where we do have a guest every week. Not a week's wait for the next one or 2 weeks or nothing. But I don't know if y'all do that. Sometimes when you got time, you make 2 or 3 shows in one day and keep them in the can for
Yeah.
when you don't have time to put something on. Do
Yeah.
something. You throw that. So we've been doing a lot of that lately on this one. I'm not saying nothing bad about the last co-host and the producer, but he just saw things differently. I think what it was, he had his own podcast and a character, because was trying to be in wrestling. He tried out to be a wrestler. Then he moved over to wanting to be a manager, and didn't just talk to an announcer, be on the mic, something. But he does it with such a heel attitude, like, yeah, there ain't nobody. Yeah, and he's an announcer, and I was telling him, like, bro, that's not what they need from an announcer. She said, don't try to outshine the guys that are there for work.
Yeah.
But that attitude when he would bring it is nobody liked it. There was so many comments like, "Oh, who's that guy? I think he is. Is he a wannabe wrestler?" And it was just a lot of bad comments that confirmed with me that, yeah, man, I got to break this to him easy, but please stop that. At least on my show, do what you want on yours. That's the thing. His character on his show was just that. When he would like review the show from the week before. Yeah, this guy sucks, and he couldn't do nothing. He couldn't hold my jock, and yada 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 yada. Just running it down and being the heel. That's what he wanted to be, is a heel uh, manager or a heel. What do you call it? Announcer.
Yeah.
Which okay, well you do that, but when he would come on my show, I just need him to be the co-host, not bring his character with him. That was becoming an issue, He finally toned it down and did one. He did one show correct, the way a co-host should do. And I told him, like, that was perfect. Can't you do that every time? And he said, "Oh, I've been trying to." No, you haven't. But he did it that time, so I seen that he could do it. It's just a matter if he could remember, And so we got a little a little phrase, I forget what was some initials when I said, Rhode Island or something, a code word. He would know that here you come, you're taking over again, back it off.
Yeah.
But it's a hard. I imagine it's hard to have your podcast where you're one character, and then your own in front of everybody again with a baby face soft character. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't what we needed or wanted.
But that's okay. You got what you're working with now, so that's what's
Yeah, Eric's great.
happy
He
now.
does it exactly. I mean, he the second he sees that there's some skip in the conversation, he pops right in, And when we do the lives, the most fun to me is answering fan questions, because they can write. Right now, we're not doing the calls, but you can write in, type in, or whatever, and we get questions. So if we hit a spot, we're like, okay, something's got to happen. Let's go to the fan questions. That always covers it, and it's always interesting questions. Not been too many stupid ones.
Yeah.
But there have been a couple stupid ones.
Well, obviously you talk a lot about a lot of different of your stories. What's one really good story that you haven't mentioned on your podcast yet?
Oh, probably about staying at y'all's house for how long was I there? A week, 10 days, 2 weeks?
Yeah, a few weeks, about
Yeah.
maybe a month. Yeah, but
Was
remember
it that
we all
long?
trick or treating, and even though we were all grown adults. Well, I think I was still a teenager, but everyone else was grown adults, so we had to put on costumes and everything.
Yeah.
Do you remember that?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was good. I was getting myself in too much trouble. And
Yes.
your mom came over and said, "Look, just stay away from everything right now. Just stay over here with us for a little bit and call me little ass." So, that's what I tried to do. Then you know what happened there at the end, that I was doing good.
I do know. I was there. I remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that girl
But you're
showed
doing
up.
a lot better now, and I'm very proud of you. But I'll bring up a story that was my favorite because he's always been like one of my favorite people in the world. I remember you told me you gave The Rock his very first beer, correct?
The what? Hold, I'm
You
gonna put
bought
my.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Hold on. Yeah. What? Which one about him? About his drinking
Yeah, you said you bought him his very first beer.
when he was 14.
Yeah.
Hold
Oh,
on.
I
I'm
didn't
gonna
realize
put
he was
my. I'm gonna put my earphones on because I'm having to lean in like this, like I'm gonna hear better if I do that. And hopefully this won't be a problem. Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Oh,
me?
and I can hear you better now. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, The Rock, his dad, and I were very good friends, and the Rocky would come over. The original Rocky would come over. It was Sean and I, as the Rockers, and the Nasty Boys, Sags and Knobs. Knobs is going through a little something right now too. It's like his foot's rotting off. There was a hole in it. It was gross to look at on the bottom. But for y'all that know who the Nasty Boys are or care at all, but so we all lived together. The four of us. This was in a stretch of wrestling that wasn't going so well. As far as money wise. So we all four of us stayed in a 1-bedroom place, and Knobs and Sags had single beds in the bedroom that they would sleep on, and Sean and I would sleep out on the couch and on the floor and alternate each night, couch floor. But just four crazy kind of guys in one house. Man, if they would have been doing reality shows at that time, that would have been something. But so, and we partied all the time.
Yeah.
Imagine. And they one Rocky come over every so often, Dad Rock, and just come around at 4 o'clock, maybe it was 5 o'clock. I think it's when his wife or whoever they're with at that time would come home from work. They start peeking out the windows, just looking for the car. He did it one day. He's like, he looks out there and he thought he saw it, but he wasn't sure. He goes, I can't take a chance. It was so funny too because he went out the door, big old Rocky Johnson, the big Rock. Not that the Rock ain't big himself, but he was ducking and diving and rolling behind bushes to get over to his apartment. And finally, we were all dying laughing. And at that same time, we get a knock at the door. And it's Dwayne. And he's like, hey, I saw Dad's gone. Can I get a beer? We're all looking at each other because he's 14 years old.
Right.
And so it was like, gave him a beer. And, he drank and got the hell out of there. But he goes, by the way, that was my first beer ever. Thank you, guys. we were thinking, oh man, did we ruin the kid? We never knew what he was going to grow up to be, the biggest star on earth. But at that time it was just it's Rocky's son.
Yeah.
But that was fun to watch him grow into his popularity because, like I said, started with that, and we watch him move on up the ladder with college football, then pro football. And then eventually got into wrestling and climbed the ladder to one of the, if not the most, but one of the most charismatic talkers ever.
Yeah.
And then the movie, jumped in the movies, did the same thing, took over the movie industry. Yeah. So that was a fun process to watch.
Yeah.
Same
as the baby.
Yeah. But it was fun to watch it too, like in amazement. Because we were already up there as TV stars through wrestling,
right?
And so when we see him shoot on past us, we're like, wow.
Yeah. But you've had an amazing career, Marty. And when you were solo with Sean, just everything, your career has been amazing. And unfortunately, just like you said, the Nasty Boys too, it takes such a big toll on your guys' bodies. And it's just horrible. But your careers were amazing at its peak.
Yeah. And both my ankles are being, having surgery on them because of the career, directly because of the career. So, our thing was jumping off the top rope into the ring. That was okay. It's okay. It's going to be that sudden stop has a toll on your ankles, knees, hips, back. But I used to jump off the top turnbuckle down to the floor and try to, throw a punch on the guy and still be standing, not fall and roll or any of that. That's like a 10 to 12 foot landing on the floor every night. When we first started, or at least when I did, before we got to WWE. Hold on, I'm sorry I didn't turn my ringer off. They didn't have the mats around the outside. It was concrete. So you had two problems. It's concrete. And if anybody had gone out on the floor sweaty, you don't want to step in that because it was slick, And if you're jumping off a 10-foot pole down on a wet concrete floor, some things happen that aren't good. But now they got it all matted up. We almost say like, oh, they're babies, man. They got mats on the turn posts, mats on the floor, mats with the railing where we used to have the metal railings just exposed. And when you'd hit them, they sling out into the audience and hit somebody. And then the promoter would come talk about, you're going to get us a lawsuit. Stop doing that. But so now they got it secure with a padded, well padded. What's that?
You guys were the test dummies for them, but now they're
Yep, and it worked. They're doing great with it. Happy about that.
But you guys made what WWE and wrestling, everything. You guys made it what it is now. No one would be watching it if it wasn't for you guys. So, but it sucks because now your body is paying the price of everything.
It'll be all right. It's just, I think this ankle's actually going to be okay. I think it is. I'm pretty sure. I'm just disappointed, but that's not anybody's fault, doctor or my body. It's time it takes, bone tissue to grow at this age, especially. And but I think he's not lost faith in it at all. He's like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. So, and I think he's going to be right. And I think that's okay. I still have my life. I still have my leg. At one time, they were talking about, it's getting bad. The blood sepsis, that infection I had. Like
I know
we
you
may,
scared me for a while, Marty. You really scared us.
it scared me.
Yeah.
I thought, they started talking about amputating. I'm like, no, I'll die first. No, I ain't amputating nothing here. But luckily we didn't have to do that. We worked in past that,
Yeah.
and it's all. I think everything's gonna be fine. I'm never gonna wrestle again. When on my Facebook, when I go on there, I get people asking me, "Hey man, can you do one more match?" No, I can't, man. Or you want me to come in and do a match on crutches? but but uh but that'll be gone too. That's been the thing. It's been a cycle. Getting surgery,
Yeah.
wheelchair only, for the first while, then get up to the crutches, then slowly start walking on it. And then I'm walking good. I'm really feel like I can start jogging, which doctor asked me never to do that again. um, but I mean, I'm all that close to being back, and then something goes wrong in it, and we got to go back in and readjust it, and here goes another 4 months, waiting, going through the process, over and over and over again. Like I said, there's 6 surgeries in the 3 years that I've been home. Uh, I actually moved down to Florida in Jacksonville, setting up, trying to set up a wrestling school there. And then I messed with that and then went down to Tampa, Florida, where I wanted to open one there too. So I was kind of getting as much of the whole states I could because WWE's right there in Orlando, with their complex that they train at, but everybody can't afford it, so I was going to make, here's some camps for those that want to, but can't afford it. I help people like on Facebook. I always help anybody I can. Got questions. I love teaching, and coaching. The coaching kids, that to me is as much, if not more, a thrill than what it was to go out into a 20,000 seat arena and having people cheer for you, boo for you, yay, and happy and sad. All those emotions you could control by what you do in the ring. And that's called ring psychology. And that's one of the big differences when I teach the kids. Um, Everybody wants to show them an arm drag, a slam, a hip toss, a suplex. The moves, anybody can teach that. You got to know when and why and where to apply the moves. That's the psychology of it.
Yeah.
And that's the part where I come in better. I mean, everybody can, like I said, I can teach the moves, and I do, but I also give them the psychology of why and when. I mean, you can do a beautiful backflip right in the middle of getting beat on, do a backflip and you get beat on some more. What the hell was a backflip for?
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
And I was just saying, and I watched the product today. You see stuff like that work, and they got good teachers. Sean, I don't know if Sean's actually teaching, but they got some good teachers at their complex down there at WWE is. But I'm not there. I don't hear, what they tell them. I don't know how much psychology they're teaching them because, when I watch WWE's the big product, not, the school's product. You got guys up there making rookie mistakes, and they've been there for a few years. And it's like, why don't they know not that's not the time to do that, or now's the time to do something, and they're just standing there and miss it, let it go by. But I don't know. It might just be me.
No, I know you're completely right. And I mean, but that's why you were so successful. I mean, you do know how to fight and you do know how to plan everything. And a lot of people can learn a lot from you. But that's why I'm glad, even though right now you can't really teach people one on one, you are doing your show and stuff and you can offer a lot of advice in there. And now you have your Facebook back up. So, I mean, it's all going good. And so, Party with Marty, it's on you're trying to keep it every Thursday night at
at,
9 p.m.
at
Is that
9.
Eastern time or?
9. Well, we were going at 10 for a
Okay.
long time, and so many people would got to go to work because it was
Right.
Thursday night, and some people just go to bed early, and some people party early and passed out by then. But it always, you see how many views you got that night, an hour or two after the show. And it'd be like, but then during the week, everybody would come, it'd be in the feeds and whatever else that they would see it. And you get your numbers after a week or, so a week or 10 days before you really knew how many people was going to watch it. But that was at the beginning. We worked up from that. I think the 10 o'clock was maybe just a touch too late. 9 o'clock. I mean, it's not but an hour earlier. But since we did that, so many people saying thank you for that. I could stay up and watch it. So that
Right.
1 hour right there, 9 and 10 to or 10 to 11, makes a big ass difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Well, you listen to your audience and you got it. So good. And so it's Party with Marty. Do people just search that up? I know you have your website. Can you go over everything again so people know where to find you?
Yeah. Go to the website's MartyJannetty.com.
Okay, cool.
Marty spelled normal or semi-normal, Marty. Jannetty, remember, it's 2 N's and 2 T's. JANNETTY.com. And that's where you can find the merchandise of Party with Marty, Knick Knack Patty Wax, Give the Dog a Bone, things like that. Here's one Radical made with her on and I on it.
That's awesome.
Mouse pad. She can, I don't know how she does it, but she can make things out of anything. Also on there, we're going to be auctioning off things such as this, the action figures. This one's got Jim Anvil Neidhart in it, along with Tito Santana and myself. I've got a ton of others. See them in the background. The Rockers, the new Rockers just came out. Me and Al Snow, we did the new Rockers. Those action figures just came out and are doing great, which I'm glad to know. They also, like I said, you can customize whatever kind of earrings you want. Rod Van Dam would love these. Anything that's got a weed on it, he loves it. But yeah, there's so many things. Them tumblers that you drink out of, coffee mugs, like we said.
Yeah.
The Party with Marty in the house. Well, this is one she made. The original one came out was this.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to get it right in the right place. But yeah, and also trading cards, 8x10 pictures, T-shirts custom made. So you just let her know what size and what you want on it, or send or whatever it is that you want on the shirt, or cards. She can make cards, personal cards for people.
Yeah, so the options are endless.
Yeah, all kinds of things I can't even remember. But yeah, you go to MartyJannetty.com. Also, don't forget, come see me on Facebook.
Yes.
Marty Jannetty on there, or maybe Mr. Jannetty.
Yeah,
but
it's Party with Marty podcast. So there you go.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. And Hen Night on Amazon as well. So I mean, there's so many places to see you.
What's that?
And the Hen Night on Amazon too. So there's so many places to watch you.
Well, at one time was a lot of platforms. We had Spotify, iHeartRadio. I don't know if those are still in effect or not since changing. But the last producer, which was amazing, that didn't have any issue with moving on. He wasn't happy about it, of course, but he didn't try to take everything no, you can't have none of this. I produced it, it's mine. He didn't do that, and we kept the same. We're on the same YouTube channel, so you know, we said wait till it starts growing and catching up to where he might be looking at it now, going, they ain't doing what we did, so good. But once we shoot up to where we were and past, he's liable to, you know, who knows? It may come back and say, oh, that's mine. I
No,
produced it. It's mine.
no, we got to be positive, Marty. We got to be positive.
Yeah, I think everything's gonna be fine with that, and my health, and
Yeah.
my career.
Yep.
The career looks like it may be down to just doing a podcast, but I still will try to teach kids, do seminars, you know, conventions I do around the country, you know, for signing around the world actually. Uh, you know, but that's just signing, sitting there signing, taking pictures. That's that's fun and sometimes interesting because sometimes we go to comic cons and stuff, and you get to see all these characters that you watched growing up. You know, all these cartoon characters, and meet them and see how life goes with them, and you know how their fans act and compare them. One time wrestlers had just goofball fans, but now we're getting up to doctors and lawyers level. You know, well, I say we. I mean WWE has brought it to that. They advanced so much. They evolved so well. I mean, when we first got in, they were saying, it's at the end of its run. It's going to go down from here. Then at the end of ours, like 20 years later, everybody knew was saying the same thing. Well, it's going to go downhill from here. Shit. Let's look at it now. It's getting 2 nights of WrestleMania. It used to be one night and sold out anywhere in any arena. So they started going to stadiums, selling them out. 70, 80, 90,000 people, stadiums selling out. Now they're doing 2 shows a night, you know, which is crazy. 2 WrestleMania shows, 2 show weekend, Friday or Saturday, Sunday, I guess. But and they've done that what now? The last 3 years, 2 years,
Yeah.
3, and doing it this year coming up. So, yeah, so it just continues to grow. As big as it is now, it just continues to grow,
Yeah.
which I
Well,
like seeing that. A lot of the guys get jealousy that aren't there no more.
yeah.
Oh man, hell with that. Oh, they suck. It's going down. Oh man, that's horrible talk. Right? That was our life for 20 years, 20 plus years with WWE. I think when I was out there with y'all, at that point, was my 35th year and with wrestling and stuff.
Yeah.
And it was shortly after that too that I think it's when I left there within the first year of moving back home to Georgia, um, that I had the match that finished everything up. It was some things went wrong during that match, and it's never that was the last match. Joey Janela, the guy I was with, we had a great match, and he had made a comment on one of his media sites that I have never seen anybody be in such pain and still finish the match, which it was. I mean, he could see it, I guess, on my face because I wasn't saying, "Oh, I'm hurt." I mean, I'm limping around. I told him going in, I can't do all that stuff I used to could do. The last time we wrestled with him was about 2 years earlier. Had a hell of a match, and I know he was wanting to do that again. I was too. I was wanting to, but yeah, it just wasn't meant to be, and he still was trying to do things that I can't do,
Yeah.
but I tried anyway because during the match, you know, you just come up with it, and what you do, a lot of stuff spontaneous comes up right then and there when you see where the people are where they need to be, because you're telling a story, you're painting a picture, making a movie, following, you know, who's the heel, who's the good guy. This is the going, you know, the big yay for the good guy. Then the drop down and the bad guy gets, you know, all the heat. And then you finish it off with whatever, however you want to do it. You're just like making a movie.
Yeah.
And, you know, when you're right in the middle of the movie, you can't just, oh, I'm tired. I can't, we'll finish next week. You know, you got to finish it up, or at
Yeah.
least that's how it feels.
Well, I'm very proud of what you're doing, Marty. I know everyone's rooting for you, and you know you're doing so well, and you're going to continue, and your health's going to go great. And everyone can go to MartyJannetty.com, find everything, and support you in any way. So thank you so much, Marty, for being on. I really appreciate it. It's good talking to you again, and hopefully we'll see
Okay.
you next year at WrestleMania.
Yes. And thank you for having me on.
Yes, of
Party
course.
with Marty.
Party with Marty. We'll see you later, Marty.
All right. Bye
Talk
bye.
to you later. All right, bye. And thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, never give up, always believe, and you'll achieve. Thank you. God bless.